Cassie Burnell, Dave Sanders, Rachel Scott. If you're not from Colorado, you probably don't know who these people are. And if you are from Colorado, you might have a good idea. But for those of you that need a refreshing, these are three of the victims from the Columbine high school shooting back in 1999. This video, I'm going to call it Faceless and Nameless. And this is, in my opinion, one of the main reasons that these shootings, these tragedies occur. Boiled down, the perpetrators are wanting their 15 minutes or 15 seconds of fame. And in my opinion, they don't deserve it. If you're going to do something that takes away, that basically ends the story or severely, permanently alters the story of another human being, my feelings are your story does not warrant hearing, being heard, seeing the light of day, what have you. And the problem is, especially with the way the media is these days, there's so much focus and attention on the perpetrators to these shootings. Yeah, they talk about the victims, read off the victims' names. But you hear so much, there's more, in my opinion, there's just way more, definitely too much coverage to the perpetrators. Usually, you hear of a shooting, you can think of the perpetrator before you can think of any of the victims. And I'm sure, you look at these situations, they're tragedies. They're tragedies all the way around. And I'm pretty sure there's, friends and family, obviously, to the perpetrators that say, well, they have a story too. I don't care what your story is. I don't care what the reasonings are. You have no excuse committing the crime that you just committed. I'll just come out and say it. The media is glorifying the perpetrators. Okay, they're glorifying them. Their name gets plastered all over the national news. They're in Time magazine, what have you. It's just plastered. And because of all this notoriety, because of all this attention, the media, despite their best wishes, best intentions, they're glorifying these people. Okay? They're glorifying their acts. They're glorifying what they did. And it's senseless. It's stupid. Okay? It really is. I've got other opinions and stuff about that, that would help deter or stop these massacres, but I'm just focusing on one thing right now. And that is, in my opinion, if you want to put a quick stop to these tragedies, these perpetrators should always be faceless, nameless cowards. Okay? I don't care what the story is, I don't care what the agenda is, I don't care about what caused them to do it. There's no excuse for them to do what they did. And really, I feel like there's no excuse for the media to glorify these people. There's no excuse, there's no reason that their names should see the light of day. Okay? Now, I know I'm doing this, I think it's like the day after, or possibly 2 days now, because it is after midnight, after the Highlands Ranch STEM school shooting. And I'm guessing there's 2 suspects, maybe 3. But, they were running live news feeds of one of the suspects appearing in court. And I just turned it off. I saw it on Facebook, I briefly put how I felt about it in the comments, and I got off that page. And it frustrates me. Because I just feel like this is just going to keep happening, and keep happening, and keep happening. If we want these senseless tragedies to stop, one of the things that we can do, one of the things that we should do, is make sure that these perpetrators remain faceless, nameless cowards. Assuming the idiots survive what they do, because a lot of them some of them like to commit suicide, some of them are shot and killed, and others have survived. really, in my opinion, I don't give one flying iota about what their reasonings are, if they're having mental issues or whatever. Which, yeah, I know mental illness is another serious problem here in the United States. And I believe in that, but it still does not excuse what they did. If you want these things to stop, if you want these tragedies to stop, the perpetrators are faceless, nameless cowards. You don't release their names, you don't release their identities, you just call them suspects, perpetrators, whatever, and leave it at that. You stop giving them any attention, you stop giving them notoriety, you stop glorifying them, and I can almost guarantee you that this BS will stop. Okay? A really good country music singer, shortly after the Columbine tragedies, he kind of said the same thing I did. And this was way back in '99 or early 2000. I forget exactly when this interview occurred. It was just shortly after Columbine. But I'm going to read you the quotation from this interview. It's actually, you can look it up on YouTube. Just look, type in Waylon Jennings Columbine shooting. I'll try and leave a link down in my description. But when he was he was at a press conference or something like that. He was doing interviews with TNN's Primetime Country, and he took a question from the audience member, and the audience member was asking him what he felt needed to be done about the school shootings, and this is his quote: "It's not the guns, because those kids are not supposed to have those guns to start with. That's against the law. You make all the laws you want to, forever. Anybody that's gonna shoot somebody, don't worry about the laws. I tell you who's to blame. It's, when you can get your picture on the front page of Time magazine, and when the television shows your face and tells them what your name is. England stopped that one time. England did not do that. I don't know if they still don't do that or not. But if you don't give them their 15 minutes of glory, and that's exactly what they're looking for, there'd be less of it. I completely agree. 100% agree with Mr. Jennings. That is a very profound quote. So, as for me, I'm just going to try and stay away from any articles or any information about the suspects. They're just going to remain faceless cowards to me. But this is my challenge. I would like to challenge, and I'm going to see if I can post this video to whichever news agencies will hear me, but KKTV, KUSA, CBS, NBC, KXRM, Fox 21, KOAA, KRDO. My challenge, Denver Post, Gazette. My challenge to you guys is to not report anything on the suspects. Don't go to these court hearings. Put down the cameras, put down the recorders. Don't go to these hearings. Don't, if they get transcripts or whatever, don't read them or just don't report on them. Hell, better yet, because the STEM shootings, the Highlands Ranch STEM massacre, Douglas County, it'd probably be a really good idea if you guys just said, you know what, we're not wanting media into the courtroom at this time for any of these hearings regarding the suspects. Now, I'm not sure if they can do that, just because of the Constitution, freedom of information. But that is my challenge to our news reporting agencies. I'd really like to see which of these agencies can actually stand up as a whole and say, no, we're not giving any attention to the suspects. We're focusing more on the victims. That is my challenge to you. I would really like to see a news agency just stop reporting on the suspects. Hell, I'd love to see all of the agencies stop reporting on the suspects. But I'd be happy with just one. But really, my ultimate dream here is just to see everybody stop reporting on the suspects. They're faceless, nameless cowards. They deserve to meet their punishment privately. No notoriety, no glorification, nothing. They just meet their punishment, however which way it is, completely privately. If someone decides to do something else like this stupid here in Colorado, I can tell you one thing. I think I can safely speak on behalf of all of the victims' families, victims' friends. We, as a state, being Colorado, are tired of this BS. And this is my motivation for making this video. I mean, yeah, we've had shootings and mass shootings in other states that were pretty significant here in recent history. Florida, the Carolinas, just to name a few, California. But it's just I don't know why. Just Colorado has had what I feel is more than their share. I mean, just think of it almost sickens me to think of all the recent shootings that we've had just in the last 10 or 20 years. Columbine, Aurora, STEM, the Planned Parenthood shooting down here in Colorado Springs just a few years ago, and I'm pretty sure I'm missing a couple others that were. It's just tragic, but I'm just saying, like I said, let them be faceless and nameless, but I can guarantee you, faceless, nameless, and you leave them to be punished in silence without any publicity. I'm pretty sure that I mean, I'm really hoping Colorado steps up its game and says, you know what, we're tired of this. We're not going to do just the little, give you a slap on the wrist or give you protection in prisons and ship you off to some other prison just so you don't have people wanting to kick your ass. I hate to say it. I know we have the Constitution. I know, I know they're supposed to be protected. But quite frankly, these faceless, nameless cowards, I hope they do get their ass kicked. Because this is my feeling is this. You ended lives. You permanently altered lives. And yet you want to be, ooh, I'm protected. You want the choice. You want to have choices to help protect you. You're going to give your victims a damn choice. So in my opinion, you deserve to get your ass kicked. In silence. With no glorification. That's all I got. Thanks, guys.